Hello guys, this is Divya and I'm back with another episode of Personalities. Let us discuss about Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Before I begin, I would like to request you to subscribe Vysh IAS channel if you haven't yet. Also press the bell notification, and I hope all of you are watching the foundational videos without skipping, because all those videos are very crucial for your exam. And also I also hope you have joined the test series, because it is designed really meticulously according to the exam. It meets all the demands of the examination. So hope you have joined it and are getting benefited by it. So now let us begin. Narendra Damodar Das Modi is an Indian politician, and he is serving as the 14th and current Prime Minister of India since 2014. So he was the Chief Minister of Gujarat from 2001 to 2014, and right now he is the Member of Parliament from Varanasi constituency from Uttar Pradesh. He is a member of Bharatiya Janata Party (BJP), and also he was a member of RSS Rashtriya Swayam Sevak Sangh. He is the longest serving Prime Minister from outside Indian National Congress. He was born and raised in Vadnagar in northeastern Gujarat, and he completed his secondary education there. And he was introduced to RSS at the age of 80, that is very early age. And at the age of 18, he was married to Jashoda Ben Chiman Lal Modi, whom he have abandoned soon after the marriage. And he had traveled to northern parts of the India for around 2 years, and he left his parental home, and he visited a number of religious centers. His father name was late Damodar Das Mulchand Modi, mother um, Hiraben Damodar Das Modi, who's often, he visits and it makes news every time he goes there to meet her. And his education is, he did his SSC in 1967 from SSC Board Gujarat, and BA in political science from distance education course from Delhi University, and then PG in MA 1983 from Gujarat University Ahmedabad. And he's been the Prime Minister of India since 26 May 2014, and he presided by Manmohan Singh, Dr. Manmohan Singh. Now let us know about his political career and his span into RSS. So, upon his return to Gujarat in 1971, he became a full-time member who's known as Pracharak for the RSS. And after the state of emergency, which was declared by then Prime Minister Indira Gandhi in 1975, he went into hiding, and the RSS assigned him to the BJP in 1985, and he held several positions within the party hierarchy until 2001, and he then rose to the rank of General Secretary. Then his first, known political activity as an adult was in 1971, when he joined a Jansangh Satyagrah in Delhi, which was led by Atal Bihari Vajpayee to enlist for the battlefield during Bangladesh Liberation War. And the Indira Gandhi government, central government, they disallowed open support for the Mukti Bahini, which was fighting for the liberation of Bangladesh in 1971. So Mukti Bahini was actually supported by Indians, and he was also one of the supporters because he wanted liberation of Bangladesh from obviously Pakistan. And he was put in Tihar jail for a short period, and after Indo-Pakistan War of 1971, he became a full-time pracharak, that is campaigner for RSS. Later, now his role as Chief Minister of Gujarat. So he was appointed Chief Minister of Gujarat in 2001 due to Keshubhai Patel, who was then Chief Minister, and his health was failing, and he also had poor public image following there was earthquake on the Republic Day in 2001, if you guys remember. So in 2001 there was an earthquake in Gujarat, and it was a very massive one. So after that, the image of CM Keshubhai Patel had fallen down. So Narendra Modi, he was sworn in as the Chief Minister 7th October 2001, and he entered the Gujarat State Legislature, that is State Assembly, on 24th February 2002 by winning a by-election to the Rajkot constituency, and he defeated a member of Indian National Congress, Ashwin Mehta. His policies as Chief Minister are credited with encouraging economic growth, and have received lots of praise for his administration, that is famously called Gujarat model of administration, of course. And then we'll talk about his developmental projects in Gujarat as a chief minister. So, as a chief minister, he favored privatization and small government. I mean, small governance, of course, and his policies during his second term have been credited with reducing corruption in the state. He established financial and technology park in Gujarat, and during 2007, Vibrant Gujarat Summit, real estate investment deals worth 6.6 trillion, which is equivalent to 7 trillion rupees, right, were signed. As a result, the state production of genetically modified cotton also increased, and it became the largest in India. And the boom in cotton industry, cotton production, also because it was a semi-arid, land use, which led to the Gujarat's agriculture sector growth. And it was averaging around 9.6 from 2001 to 2007, and in 2008 he offered land to in Gujarat to Tata Motors to set up a plant for the manufacturing of Tata Nano. And as you know, if you yeah, maybe most of you doesn't know, but what happened was, Tata tried to set up a manufacturing plant in Singur, that is West Bengal. But Mamata Banerjee was not a CM then. She was not a chief minister then. She was in opposition. She led a campaign, and there were so many agitations. And because of those agitations against Tata Motors, they had to shift their plant to Gujarat, right? And Prime Minister Modi, then Chief Minister Modi, invited Tata Motors to set up their plant there. Then Gujarat expanded the Jyotigram Yojana scheme, in which agricultural electricity was separated from the rural electricity. And because of that, the agricultural electricity was rationed to fit the scheduled irrigation demands, and it reduced its cost, because in agriculture the demand for electricity is actually more than the domestic one. And then in 2014 general elections, so he led the BJP in the 2014 general election, which gave the party a majority in the lower house of Indian Parliament, that is Lok Sabha, and for the first time for any single party since 1984. And he has proved that success has got nothing to do with the caste, creed, or where a person belongs to. He is the first Prime Minister of India whose mother was still alive when he took the office. And then in Lok Sabha, he represents Varanasi constituency. I have told you it is in Uttar Pradesh, and is considered a master strategist for his party. Then some milestones of Modi regime. So in Lok Sabha election 2019, Narendra Modi was sworn in around 4.79 lakhs votes against Shalini Yadav, who was also fighting from that constituency, and she belonged to Samajwadi Party (SP). And this was in 2019, and before that he had completed one full term from 2014 to till 2019. And then this was NDA 2. So on 6 December to 2020, he became the fourth longest serving Prime Minister of India outside Indian National Congress. And Modi also launched, Prime Minister Modi also launched Digital India program, and the goal was to ensure government services available electronically, and also building infrastructure to provide high speed internet across rural areas. And it would give boost to the manufacturing of electronic goods in the country, and it will promote digital literacy as well. So this was the aim of Digital India program. And in 2019 he passed a law to give 10% reservation to the economically weaker sections for the general category. It was not for SC/ST or OBC, it was for the general category and those who are economically weaker sections. And then the Indian government under his regime launched Ujjwala scheme in 2016 to provide free LPG connections to the rural households. And the scheme led to an additional 24% of India's household having access to LPG in 2019 as compared to 2014, when his government just came to power. And his government put in place the GST, goods and services tax, and this is said to be the biggest tax reform in the country since independence, because it subsumed under it 17 different taxes like VAT, customs, So all the indirect taxes were subsumed under the goods and services taxes, right? You have to remember, indirect taxes, it is not all the taxes, no, is direct taxes are still there, right? Like income tax. So and it was effective from the 1st July 2017. Over the first 4 years of his premiership, that is his leadership, India's GDP grew at an average of 7.23, which was higher than the rate of 6.39 under the previous governments, of course. And then the level of income equality has also increased. I mean, inequality. Yeah, and then in 2018, the World Health Organization stated that at least 1,80,000 diarrheal deaths were averted in rural areas after the launch of sanitation effort, that is Swachh Bharat mission. And it was a widespread mission, and in a way it was successful. There can be many critics also, but there has been, I can say, there has been lot of awareness among the general public about the sanitation and about the need of building toilets. So I have seen some remote places where there were no toilets at all. Now they are being, they have been declared open defecation free, and there are toilets, I think, almost everywhere. So sanitation cover in India, it increased from 38 to 38.7% in October 2014, and which increased to 84.1% in May 2018. And then he has received consistently high approval rates during his tenure, of course, from the general public. And following his party's victory in 2019 elections, his administration revoked Article 370, which used to grant special status to the Jammu and Kashmir state, and abolishing that article was a step actually towards the integrating Jammu and Kashmir in India, and also Ladakh, which was declared a union territory. And this was one of the main goals in the manifesto of the NDA government, right, especially the BJP. So his administration had tried to raise foreign direct investment, FDI, in the Indian economy, and it improved the level of funding in healthcare, education, as well as social welfare schemes. There have been many schemes related to, especially when you talk about the healthcare, there is Jan Arogya Yojana, and for education also there have been many reforms taken, and now there is also national economic education policy, right? And there are so many social welfare programs as well, which were going on. So his regime, it abolished the planning commission, which was a very centralized body. So they have kind of decentralized it, and they replaced it with a think tank body, like that is Niti Ayog. And in response to the COVID 19 pandemic, his government invoked Epidemic Diseases Act 1897 and Disaster Management Act 2005 in March 2020. And India began its vaccination program in January 2021 under his leadership in January 2022, and India announced that it administered about 1.7 billion doses of vaccines, and more than 720 million people were fully vaccinated, by 2022 January. His administration tried to attract foreign investment in Indian economy from several sources, especially in East India, with the use of slogans such as Make in India and Digital India. The government also tried to improve relations with Islamic states nations, that is in Middle East, such as Bahrain, Iran, Saudi Arabia, and United Arab Emirates, that is UAE, as well as with their adversary, that is Israel. Now even the relations between UAE, Middle East, and Saudi Arabia with the Israel are improving. They are mending their relations. So the foreign relations of India with the USA also were mended under the Narendra Modi leadership. And then defense policy under his regime. So on 29 September 2016, the Indian Army conducted a surgical strike on terror launch pads in Pakistan occupied Kashmir. And in February 2019, India carried out airstrikes in Pakistan against a terrorist camp. And his government struck a deal with Russia for buying S 400 missile system, that is an anti-missile striking system, and thereby they constructed much stronger and ties and relationship between the two nations, that is Russia and India. And his environmental policy. So Modi government in 2015 proposed International Solar Alliance, and this initiative was to encourage investment into the solar energy. You have to answer me, where is the headquarter of ISA, that is International Solar Alliance, right? And it holding the, in the many of the international platforms. So Narendra Modi, I mean Prime Minister Narendra Modi, he had, held a developed country responsible for, you know for all the climate changes which were happening because of the industrial revolution they had. And they also said, he has multiple times reiterated that India has negligible role in climate change historically. And at the COP26 conference, he announced that India would target carbon neutrality by 2070, very ambitious target actually, I should say, and also expands its renewable energy capacity. India has emerged as the only major economy to be on track to meet the Paris Agreement goals. And India has already achieved 10% ethanol blending 5 months ahead of the schedule. These are many of the awards and recognition which he got, and some are the highest civilian awards of those countries. You can have a look. And then, so with this, we have come an end to this episode. Hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, do share, like this channel, and like these videos, share these videos as much as you can. We'll meet in the next one. Thank you.